Boom, intro. What's going on, guys? Travis here, and I am really excited for this video and this whole video series actually, because we are going to dive into the insider strategies that I've used, that a lot of my fellow influencer friends have used to build a personal brand on Instagram. Today's video, we're going to talk about 5 personal branding myths when it comes to Instagram. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name's Travis. You can call me Trav. We're friends here. I've been a style blogger, a model, and a photographer for the past 5 years. So being on Instagram and building a personal brand has led to so many opportunities for me, whether it be working with some of the biggest brands, clothing brands in the industry. I was actually featured in GQ as a model. This is GQ right here. So it's the one with the rock on the cover, somewhere in here. Here we go. So I was in this one, but I think the best thing that's come from growing on Instagram is just the relationship that I've built with the audience. I get messages every day about inspiration and how people are changing their lives, and I really want to help you get to that point. Alright, so let's dive into these 5 branding myths. Myth number 1 is that Instagram is all about followers. If Instagram was all about followers, then all of these shortcuts that people are taking would be legit, and they're not legit. And you know what I'm talking about. It's really about the quality of content you're creating and how much value you're providing to the audience. So serve and serve and serve until they love you. It's about engagement and your relationship with your audience. As Gary Vee says, it's about depth, not width. Number 2 is that you should post for everyone. You need to know your message and what you stand for in your niche, right? Are you talking about food? Are you talking about fashion? Are you talking about, is it street style, timeless style? Both. You really need to nail down and clarify what your message is. You'll be able to speak value to your audience so much better than if you're just taking selfies, posting your coffee. You're just posting to post, you're not going to build an audience. So whatever your page is about, stick to that. Myth number 3 is that posting on Instagram is all about originality. It's a mix of being relatable and being original. If you're too obviously relatable, your audience is going to get bored with it. If you have that perfect combination of originality and relatability, that's the magic formula. Okay, so how do you do this? Imagine a box, right? Here's a box. Your niche and every single person in your audience within your niche is in this box, and they're told what they're supposed to believe by society. It's your job to challenge those beliefs as the influencer. Brands are built on the edges of the box. They're not built inside. You really need to flirt with those edges. As a style blogger, it's like, how can I get polarizing? Or how can I, I'm talking about clothing, right? Just within your niche, understand what debates are going on, right? So in the fashion industry, for example, there's a whole group of people who are all about timeless classic style, and then a whole group of people who are about fashion forward, trendy. If I can post something that flirts with the edges of both of those topics, then I can be a little polarizing. You need that. That's how you build a brand, right? Brands aren't built by appealing to the masses. Brands are built on the edges. Myth number 4, and this is probably the most important one. As the influencer, you are not the hero of the story. And so you ever seen Star Wars? The originals, Luke Skywalker, Yoda, Obi-Wan, that's what we're talking about. Luke Skywalker's a hero, and he's going on a journey. He has several problems, one of which is Darth Vader, another of which he doesn't believe in himself. And he meets a guide, and that guide is Yoda or Obi-Wan Kenobi. They both sort of fill that role. As the influencer, you're not Luke Skywalker of the story. You are Yoda. You are the guide. And a very good book that explains this concept incredibly well is called Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. Highly recommend you check this out. This is such an important concept, is that you're there to serve the audience and guide them on a transformation. Nobody cares about your life yet until the audience knows, loves, and trusts you, and you build that KLT factor and know, love, and trust by providing value and providing value and providing value. A really good example of somebody who tried to be the hero first and then they switched to the guide role and they just blew up is actually Peter McKinnon. And if you haven't heard of Peter McKinnon, check him out. But he started on YouTube as a vlogger, and he was just posting about his day. He was posting what he was doing, what he was eating, his coffee. Nobody was watching, nobody was viewing, because who is he? Nobody knows him yet. He hasn't, why do I care? And then he made a shift and he started posting valuable tutorials, how to take better pictures, camera hacks. He positioned himself as the guide and he blew up. Now that he has that KLT factor built, people love to know what he's doing with his day. It's like, oh, how's his wife? How's his kids? You know, how's whatever coffee he's making today. They love that. Myth number 5, you can't evolve as an influencer. You know, I hear this all the time. Some people who are building their social media presence will say, my audience won't like that. I have to post what my audience likes. I'm a slave to my audience now. But your audience also wants to see growth. And an example of this was in 2018, I got really lazy and I just kept posting a lot of the same things. I started to put on a little bit of weight. Then I started going on a fitness transformation at the end of 2018. And I don't have a fitness page. I have a fashion and photography page. And they loved it. And they're like, man, this is so inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing this. And when you do that, your audience will want to grow with you. And in fact, it inspires them to grow with you. If you're not growing, you're dying. I'll leave you with that. So these are the 5 myths of branding and positioning yourself as an influencer. Look forward to the next video. We're gonna talk all about photography, my favorite subject. I'm so excited to dive into that, and I can't wait. I'll see you in the next video.